science fiction, fantasy, and other bits and bobs. Today, I want to join a lot of these other booktubers that I've been watching who have done their mid-year freakout tag. I've really enjoyed a lot of the other videos, and so I wanted to add my take to that. So, the best book that I have read so far this year, this was really hard to narrow down. It came down to two really strong contenders. I really enjoyed the first law books by Joe Abercrombie, but I gave the nod to The Will of the Many by James Islington. Uh, just really enjoyed this book and look forward to the sequel coming out, I think, in October. Um, Not far behind would be the Empire of the Wolf series by Richard Swan. Superb books. Uh, my favorite sequel, Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett. I'd like to have showed you my copy of the book, but I've loaned it to my daughter-in-law, and so she's got it. I don't have it here, but that's book two of the Leviathan series. I really love this fantasy world, kind of a Holmes and Watson flavor, just a thoroughly enjoyable series. New release that I'm excited about, Whispers of the Storm by Z.B. Steele. Book one of the Song of the Damned series. It came out March 25th of this year. Excellent dark fantasy, and I'm very excited by what I've read so far, and I look forward to more series coming out, hopefully in this series, more books in this series by this author, Z.B. Steele. Most anticipated release for the second half, I've already alluded to it, The Strength of the Few by James Islington, based on the strength of The Will of the Many. I am really looking forward to book two. The biggest disappointment, I've got two books. The first one, Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. I realize this is a hot take and that everybody probably hates that I'm saying this. My son loves this book, but I don't know. It just has a little too much teen angst for me, too much grief that our protagonist deals with. I will probably continue the series at some point. I wanted to like it more, but it really didn't do it for me. And then the other one that was a disappointment, Lord Fowl's Bane by Stephen R. Donaldson. I want to love this book. I love the world building. I love the leprosy angle, but I really cannot stand their protagonist, Thomas Covenant. He is such a jerk. And this book has stuck with me enough, and I thought about it quite a bit, that I will likely continue the series at some point. But my biggest disappointment is just that protagonist and what a jerk he is. The biggest surprise, The Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe. I went into this series basically unaware of anything. Uh, so just finding this book and series, the entertainment that you get on the surface, the deeper meanings, the symbolism, the depth, just a tremendous series of books. I wasn't expecting to find a top 10 book, but just a tremendous read and a tremendous surprise. Honorable mention, Acorna, The Unicorn Girl by Anne McCaffrey and Margaret Ball, the science fiction book with a fantasy cover. Looks YA, but surprisingly adult, and was quite the surprise. A book that made you cry. I don't really cry from books, but I read Tao Salandis, an arc by Daryl Moore, a great science fiction novel. I rated it L5 Legendary, and there were a couple parts where I might have shed a tear or two. It had some really poignant moments. A book that made you happy. David Weber by Schism Rent Asunder. I have really enjoyed this book, book two of the Safehold series. I enjoy the world building. I enjoy the science fiction fantasy type take on the Reformation, and I am loving the Safehold books. Books that you want to read by year end. I'll put my tentative TBR in the description so you can see my plan for the rest of the year, but I'll highlight a few. I read the first book in the Culture series by Ian M. Banks, Consider Phlebas. Last year, I really enjoyed it. I'd like to continue the series. I plan to continue the Safehold series by David Weber. I plan to finish Lord of the Rings on my shelf of shame. I am so embarrassed that I have not finished this trilogy. I've finished the first book. I hope to start the second book, The Two Towers, this coming month. Um, but uh, but yeah, I hope to finish this uh, during this next few months. And I also plan to jump into the Foreigner series. In fact, I have started it. I'm just a couple chapters in Foreigner by C.J. Cherry. And so far, early on, really enjoying it. I'm also currently reading The Song of the First Blade by T.C. Edge. This is the first book in the Bladeborn saga, and I am really enjoying it. I'm listening to it on audiobook, and I enjoyed it so much that I went out and bought the hardbacks of the series, which is a little bit unusual for me. But maybe in a later video, I'll show off my hardback collection of those books. So, what do you think of my list? Any that you like, any that you don't like? Let me know in the comments. Also, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. I'd also encourage you to check out the link to my Pango bookstore in the description. I'm just trying to get it up and running, and if you'd like to see a book that you might like and buy it from me, that would certainly help me out. Thank you so much, legendary readers. Live a legendary life.